Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for your wonderful talk, Wendy. And Austin, do you have a question?
I do have a question, but I doesn't need the microphone.
Oh, where is it? Oh, good.
Can you hear me, Charlie?
Oh, no.
Charlie. Co-host one.
He'll repeat if they can't hear.
Okay. My relationship of 9 months ended yesterday when my girlfriend broke up with me. And I'm wondering what the mindful way is to end relationships.
Do we have to repeat that?
Could you hear?
Did everyone hear the question?
No.
So Austin asked a question. He said that his relationship with a person for, you said 9 years?
9 months.
Oh, 9 months ended yesterday. And what's the best way to deal with this? Or correct me, what exactly did you say?
Mindfully.
Mindfully stay in the present moment, stay out of the past,
He said mindfully.
Oh, yeah, mindfully, yes.
I'm sure you
Okay.
answer it better than I could ask.
That's okay. I would like to take a poll. How many people have had a similar situation? Everybody here and everybody on the screen. So it's good to bear that in mind. This is normal for human beings. And some of these relationships lasted a lot longer than 9 months. Let's see, what's my record? 15 years, I suppose. Fortunately, I'm still in a relationship with Judy, and I don't think either of us is going to live long enough to have this relationship end except by death. So I'm very grateful for that. Still, I'm not making light of what you're going through right now. But I want you to bear in mind that everyone understands on the basis of personal experience. Of course, I'm a Zen teacher, so you probably know what I'm going to recommend. Pardon me?
Just do it. Stay in the present moment. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it is okay. Just do what?
The next indicated thing.
Mm-hmm. And what will help you to do that most?
Meditation.
Oh, yes. We haven't seen you here for a while. This is a wonderful Sangha. I'm sure you're experiencing it right now, and you remember. And you can think of Sangha really as a support group, not only for your practice, but for your entire life. And I certainly have found that to be the case on many occasions and throughout many years. And the best way to get support from a Sangha is to practice with the Sangha, whether online or in person. We have practice here 5 days a week. And we have retreats on regular intervals, fairly regular, but we have the next one actually is, do you know when the next retreat is?
Saturday.
And you plan to come?
I'm going to sign up after this, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think we've answered your question.
All right, I'll take it.
Just do it. Okay, thank you. We feel for you, man. Know what it's like. Yeah. Are there any other questions? Yes.
What does Shariputra mean?
Shariputra is the name of a bodhisattva. I'm not sure what the etymology of the name is. I'm sorry. Now I've got to find out. Send me your email. I'll let you know.
Who was he in relationship? We say his name, but who was he?
Shariputra is the one who has the Heart Sutra preached to him. And we have better information in the back row here.
From my scholarly studies, Shariputra was one of the original.
I'm sorry?
Shariputra was one of the original disciples.
Yeah, he's one of Buddha's original disciples, yeah. And he comes up in the Heart Sutra. That's where you hear his name. Yeah. So Avalokiteshvara is recounting to Shariputra this teaching. So he's more a recipient of the teachings than anything else, as far as it comes up in our practice anyway. So we can all be like Shariputra, that is recipients of the teaching, and I'm including myself in that category when I say we can all be like Shariputra and receive Buddha's teaching. That's what we're all about here, as a matter of fact. So in some sense, we're all Shariputra. So thank you for your question, your Shariputra question. That's a first. That's good. Is that how it came up for you? Because we chanted in the Heart Sutra. Yeah. Any other questions? Usually there's a question from someone on the screen, and I'm looking at her right now. But maybe not right now.
Well, I could have a question.
Yes.
How did you know? Okay, so there's the storehouse consciousness, and my understanding of that is this consciousness that we have that we're not aware of. You know, but there's stuff stored in it that we're not aware of and is not necessarily positive, you know.
Yeah.
And then so so I assume, like our meditation, that some of it's going to come up and that, but sometimes maybe it won't, you know. And then there's the idea of this you know, before thinking, before speech, you know, which I take to be our true nature. Mm-hmm. And that we practice for it to come up. So if you have the two things, one kind of the delusions that come up and one our true nature that comes up, how do you know which is which? I mean, you know, I suppose sometimes it's very clear, but other times not so clear. So how do you know?
Yeah, well, you're talking about the general direction of our practice. You can think of the storehouse consciousness as the depository of karma, you know, and our karma always comes back to haunt us. Karma means, here's an etymology, the result of action. The ma is a suffix that means result of, and the kar is action. So it's going to always have an effect, whether it's conscious or not. So, you know, maybe the term storehouse consciousness is misleading because, you know, consciousness suggests a kind of awareness, whereas the key element in storehouse consciousness is storehouse. All this stuff is stored away, and you might not even ever remember it. It might never come to your consciousness, waking consciousness, but everything continues to have an effect. Everything that we do, you know, has ripple effects throughout all time and space. So it's not just individual to us, our storehouse consciousness. So I'm sure you've heard the expression, cause and effect are clear. Cause and effect are clear. Well, sometimes they're not so clear, of course, but when you really look at it, every effect, if you completely understand it, has a cause. Another colloquial way we put this is you make, you get. That's has a little more punch to it, maybe, you know. You make, you get. And so, what's the best response? Don't make anything. I'm sorry, do you have, I thought maybe someone else on the screen has a question, but it was just a shadow passing. Where was I? Yeah, you make, you get. And this applies to not simply every literal action, as karma suggests, but really every passing thought. Everything that we think, everything that we do, everything that we say affects not only ourselves, but the entire universe, really. It's the teaching of total interpenetration. So don't ever think that you're alone or that you're going unnoticed. Thank you for your question, Liz. Of course, I'm talking to myself when I say that also, mind you. You know, I'm not preaching. I'm saying, oh my God. Are there any other questions? Yes.
When you were talking about it, you said your storehouse comes back to haunt you, but could it not come back to elevate you? Everything you do has an effect.
Yeah, everything you do has an effect. This includes positive things too. Yeah. We call that good karma. You just shouldn't presume that it's good. You know, take a good look at it. Is that really good? Yeah, so this constant awareness is very important. Awareness that everything you do has an effect. You know, that no one is isolated. We're not isolated from each other at all. And that encourages me when I look at all of you and say, hey, this is a good deal, you know. So, yes.
I have a question that's kind of based a bit on Linda's talk, and that is a lot of mental health therapies over the last 20, 25 years have been borrowing a lot from Zen, borrowing without acknowledging at all, just stripping it away from Buddhism. And one of the problems that I've seen with that is that you introduce a client to mindfulness, you introduce a client to, I'm a retired substance abuse counselor, everybody. You introduce them to acceptance and commitment therapy. You introduce them to loving kindness meditation, and one of the things that happens is what often happens in the first stages of Zen practice, which is a bliss state emerges. And people become attached to that. And then that ultimately the bottom drops out of that. How do you, as a Zen teacher, as a Zen master, how do you teach someone who comes to the Zen Center whose initial experiences with the elements of our practice, they want the bliss of it, and how do you teach them?
Well, people on the screen didn't hear that, and
I'm sorry.
I'm going to try to summarize it.
Okay, so sorry.
I'll tell you what, give me a short sentence summary, and then I'll repeat that, because I don't want to mis-summarize you.
How do you help people who, through mental health therapy, learn something about mindfulness and got attached to the bliss?
Okay. How do you help
bliss
people?
evaporated?
Okay. How do you help people who, through some sort of New Age thinking or whatever,
No, mental health.
specifically mental health therapists, through the treatments with their therapists, get the notion that
Teach them mindfulness. The client gets attached to the bliss.
okay, the client gets attached to mindfulness meditation.
They get attached to bliss.
They get attached from the bliss that can arise from mindfulness meditation. I'm sorry I misunderstood you.
That's okay. We've had this happen to ours a lot.
Yeah, the first thing I would say is it's not going to last very long, this bliss.
That's what she said, exactly.
Right. And so they're going to be really let down, and perhaps even be hostile to Buddhist teaching, although mindfulness meditation does not have to have, and probably no longer does have, much relationship to Buddhist teaching. And so then the antidote is to give, correct teaching about the truth of suffering, which is, of course, one of Buddha's original teachings. Life is suffering, and that there's a way out of this suffering. And the way out of the suffering is the Eightfold Noble Path. And I've got a $50 bill in my wallet if anybody can name all 8.
All together.
In sequence. But the last one is Samyak Jnana, correct meditation. Yeah. So, you can pick up all sorts of meditation forms which promise this and promise that. That's pretty much embedded in our culture now. And I think you're right, Margaret, that mindfulness is probably the most prominent of these. So it's good to highlight that. So correct meditation teaching is the antidote. And teaching great love, great compassion, the great Bodhisattva way is a lot more profound than teaching great bliss. And I think anyone can understand that. And of course, that is the direction of our practice. And the 4 great vows are another wonderful encapsulation of our practice. So if you only have 1 minute, to explain to somebody what our practice is all about, just recite the 4 great vows. So thank you all for your questions. I think we have come to the limit of our time. I think we can turn off. Actually, I don't know what is being heard anyway. You're hearing me, I'm sure. Good, okay.